Thanks to this VIN tag, we can confirm that this truck is a 1971 F100 two-wheel drive. The dash looks great, yet we do have a missing dashboard cover. The floorboards, foot pedals, and steering column are painted black. Manual transmission, which I really like. It's pretty cool that the cabin is filled with engine and car parts, but aside from that, it looks really great in here. Rear windshield looks intact. Bench seat is worn and not firm, so that's going to need upholstery. We can see here that the door jamb has been painted with the base coat. Wiring needs small adjustments like getting cleaned up and insulated. If we look closer, we can see rusted floorboards are exposed between the carpet. This is something you can easily miss if you're not scanning the truck entirely. Sometimes the seller can paint over the rust to make it seem like it's new and well kept. Alright, let's make our way to the front of the truck. My favorite part, the engine compartment. At first glance, Engine Bay makes it clear that it was stored in a clean space. Based on what Fortification.com has to say about this specific 302, we know that if this is original like how the owner says, it is in fact a 302 cubic inch, 8-cylinder which has a certified net horsepower of 148 at 4,000 RPMs. However, it does say that the truck's engine specifications holds a horsepower of 205 with a compression ratio of 8.6 to 1 with a 2-barrel carburetor. Paired with a 3-speed Ford manual transmission. However, in our case, the seller had the transmission swapped to make the truck run at higher speeds. So here already I can already notice the black spots as I wiped off the oil dipstick. Oil level looks good, but smells like gasoline, which could indicate that the engine is running rich. Coolant needs to be flushed out due to the coolant appearing black and brown. Possibly could have overheated. Here we got a torn power steering line, but the power steering reservoir level is fine. The original Windsor 302 engine has a cast iron block and head. It technically displays 4.942 liters. Even though Ford branded it as a 5.01, it had a bore and stroke of 4 inches and 3 inches. The original Windsor V8 used either double or quad barrel carburetors, depending on the application. Ford only required regular gas or unleaded 87 and the 302s due to its low compression ratio. The original 302 engines all had 2 bolt mains, as well as hydraulic rather than solid adjustable lifters. It has an overhead valve pushrod engine with a single in-block cam, with 2 valves per cylinder, so 16 valves in total. With the proper maintenance, these Ford 302 engines have been known to push past 500k miles, before with only minimal rebuilds. These trucks are tough. Ford tough. The high production numbers make them easy to work on, and there are a lot of spare parts out there if you need them as well. So according to Fortification.com, this truck came from the San Jose, California assembly plant with a lime gold metallic paint. Frame looks straight. Headlights are clear. Here we have a dent on the driver's side fender. I asked the seller about this, to which he says it took a hit when it was parked. Hood springs work. Here we got a registration sticker up to date, which is a good sign. We can see that the wheels are the same, which is good, but we can also see that the paint is chipping off. What I like about this truck is that there is no visible frame damage. I can see that we do have a spare tire. Overall, I would say that the body does look strong. Looks like the bed has been painted black with spray cans, which is going to need some sanding down and getting a repaint. Here we got a missing passenger side view mirror. Same thing goes for the driver's side door. I was told by the seller that the truck resided in California. Let's check out the undercarriage to see if that's the case. We got an oil pan gasket that's leaking. And right away, we can see that the fuel filter is dirty, which is going to need to be replaced. There you can see that the lower and upper control arm ball joint bushings are worn out. So far, the undercarriage looks really clean compared to the previous Ford truck I've checked out. Torn bushings on the tie rod end and adjusting sleeve. I'm not sure if y'all can see, but right there the transmission bell housing is clearly leaking. Here we got all around brake drums, which they do have a lot of dust. Now if you look at the exhaust pipe, It is showing signs of wear and overheating due to the boiling marks. As far as I'm concerned, there's mostly just surface rust under here. Overall chassis condition looks secure. Personally, I like the look of the long bed better, and just by looking under the truck, you can see the difference of the chassis from a short bed to a long bed, and just how far it stretches out. The rear end of the chassis has rust and moisture. It's just something to keep in mind when inspecting a truck. The truck's bed sheet metal is noticeably rusting in the back. Alright, I'm going to attempt to start off the truck and see what happens. At this point, I was really excited because it would be my first attempt to start up a manual truck. As I was getting the truck started, I could feel that the shift knob felt pretty firm. And what do you know? The truck started. So I noticed as the seller turned on the truck, I heard a sound like if there's air escaping. It could possibly be a compression issue. Plus, the valve train made a loud ticking sound. He did mention so that the transmission doesn't force itself too much, it has to be shifted to second gear when first running the truck. Then you gotta shift it back to first gear so it doesn't pull strongly, which gave me an indication that the transmission might need some work done in the future. So just to give y'all a recap, here I pretty much go ahead and ask my questions about the truck. I went ahead and asked if he had any problems with the truck suddenly turning off while he was driving on the freeway or streets, to which his response was no. The truck has been driven for long distances. I also asked if he regularly checked the oil level, to which he said yes, and has kept up with the tune-ups, same goes for the previous owner. Once I finished up with my questions, I went ahead and asked to see the title. From listening to it doesn't sound very strong. I know he said it's running cold, but I mean it's been like 5 minutes. It's either it's losing air. It sounds like a vacuum leak. You could hear something going like. I feel like it's losing compression or it's leaking through the carburetor. Something about the carburetor is mixing oil with the fuel because that's it smell. Why does it smell fuel? I know how oil smells like. That does not smell like just oil. So something's mixing. This is the closest thing I wanted to it. I did want to mention that when I saw the title, the VIN did confirm the truck specifications. Here I have a list of the truck's strengths and weaknesses. Feel free to pause the video if you'd like to take a look. Well, thank y'all for joining. And remember, it's not your job to make people understand what your purpose is. First Class, 1972, signing out.